So, Vogue, we saw a little bit of the footage there. So just explain, so what you were doing and what kind of comments that you received.
Well, I just was training, now differently, because obviously when you're pregnant, you do train differently, but I've always trained since I've been 17, so I wasn't going to stop when I was pregnant. But as soon as I kept posting the training videos when I was pregnant, just people constantly saying, you're putting your baby at risk, you shouldn't be doing things like that, that's not the way you should do that. And everything I do is like okayed by my doctor and okayed by my trainers. And people just seemed to have such an issue with women training when they're pregnant. To be honest, it's almost anything you do when you're pregnant. If I put up a picture and there's a can of Coke in the background, you shouldn't be drinking that Coke when you're pregnant. And it's like, oh my God, everything
you do.
Yeah.
And did you breeze over them, or did they bother you?
Do you know what? It really bothered me about the training ones, because to be told you're putting your unborn child at risk is really offensive. And I think unless you're a doctor, you shouldn't be doling out that advice to anyone anyway. So the people commenting on every video that I do in the mails and Instagram, you do read them and it's just like, you don't know what my body's like. And I'm not there to preach to people about what to do in their pregnancy, because I've been lucky that I've been able to train, because for the first 15 weeks I couldn't because I was too sick. And some people have that the whole way through. But because I feel better now and I have my doctor's advice and I have my trainer's advice, it's good.
Well, the NHS advice says exercise is not dangerous for your baby. There is some evidence that active women are less likely to experience problems in later pregnancy and labour. If you weren't active before you got pregnant, then don't suddenly take up strenuous exercise.
The key, isn't it?
And so, you know, the NHS are behind you here, and there must be a thought in your head saying, you know, butt out, mind your own business.
You do have that. I've never had so much advice off people as to when. I sort of wish I'd kept my pregnancy news to myself a little bit longer so that I would have had less of it.
And the other thing for you, your training throughout your life has been because it helps you with all sorts of things, not just about keeping your body strong, but also for anxiety and all sorts of things. And actually, stress and anxiety can impact the baby more than anything. So the stress of people saying all these horrible things to you could actually be far more detrimental.
It does. It does stress you out a bit, because even as you said, the size of your bump, I got loads of people saying, your bump's too small, there's something wrong with you if you're that pregnant and your bump's
so
too small.
mean, isn't it?
And I went to the doctor because I was like, is there something wrong with the baby? Why is my bump so small? And he's a big baby, which is brilliant, but also terrifying.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
So actually, those comments sent you to the doctor.
Yeah, because you do think when enough people say something, it's like, maybe they're right. Maybe I should have a bigger bump. But everybody's pregnancy is different, and I see people the same far along as me, and they've got a smaller bump. It just depends, really.
Vanessa, we see all sorts of things. It's not just the size of your bump, and it's not just the fact that, as Vogue was doing, she was exercising. But people can be really mean. This pregnancy shaming. Oh my God, you put a lot of weight on.
Vogue has to keep her blood pressure nice and low, so she can't really say anything. I don't want her to get angry, and she's doing a brilliant job of keeping calm. You're presenting the show, you've got to keep nice and calm, but I don't have to. Why am I here? I'm here to say, for God's sake, stop it. Really stop it. Stop shaming and judging and scorning and deriding, particularly women doing it to other women. It is deeply disgusting behaviour. And really, lots of women feel very authoritative about labour and babies and pregnancy. They've done it, they've succeeded, they feel good, and it's great they feel good about themselves. So feel that lovely, good feeling. Don't start passing malice onto other women and making them feel bad.
And don't assume that their pregnancy is the same as yours.
No. Exactly. I mean, some people... And when I was pregnant, about 2 weeks later, honestly, the bump was virtually under my chin. I went to get a bra because my boobs were aching, and they said, are you feeding the baby? I had 9 more months of pregnancy to go. I was nowhere near. And, you know, that's just genetic. My whole family looked like dumplings. What can I do? You know, I never looked like this, even when, you know, when I wasn't pregnant. So the point is, you don't know. Somebody carries small, but actually it's a big baby, just like this. Some people carries big, actually it's a small baby. You must not pour scorn on the sisterhood. It really sucks. Do listen to me. I'm old enough to know this stuff.
I'm totally unbiased.
Stop it.
Vanessa,
Stop
every
it.
step of the way.
Don't.
The thing is also, and this is what's even more ridiculous about the story, is that you're being shamed for exercising during pregnancy, and then you're also being fat shamed because at your baby shower, people were making comments about you being fat.
Yeah,
for goodness
I know,
sake.
saying that I looked fat at my baby shower. I was 7 months pregnant at the time. But I think people just, especially online, it's such an outlet for people. It's so easy to be negative and hide behind a computer and just put anything you want online and you think that it's not going to affect other people, but it does. And when I, like, being fat shamed at 7 months pregnant, like, I mean, it was like water off a duck's back because I'm pregnant. It's just different. But at any stage, to fat shame any women, and I just think it happens mostly to women, and it's like, you're too fat, you're too skinny, and it's just leave it. Like, social media has gotten so nasty like that, and it's just, it doesn't seem...
And imagine you're probably looking forward and thinking, once I have the baby, I'll be shamed for pinging back into shape. And you look forward to that one as well.
And I also heard parent shaming is a big thing, so I can't wait for that.
And so...
Stop that. No, my elder daughter came off social media because of it, because of the competitive parenting. It was too much for her. Everyone else's baby was easily breastfeeding, sleeping through the night, you know, knew its multiplication table at the age of 3 months. She just couldn't deal with it. She thought it was ridiculous. In the old days, you just had your own family to say, or your cousin's baby to compare with. Now it's the whole flipping world, and it's too much for everyone. Whether you look glamorous and beautiful, whether you don't, you've still got feelings like everybody else on the inside. And it really is important to remember that. I think everybody's losing touch with just kindness and be decent. Don't judge a pregnant woman. You've got no idea what she's feeling or thinking. And what you probably know is she's probably more vulnerable at this point than any other time in her life. I bet you're feeling a bit nervous about the whole thing, just like everyone else.
Definitely.
I mean, for goodness sake.